Welcome back everybody to another Genshin Impact video. Splice Citrus here, and today I wanted to make a video discussing the hype around the Raiden Shogun. Is she meeting expectations, and the controversy about her ultimate here. So let's jump right into it. Her ultimate here, right down here, says while the ultimate is active, the Raiden Shogun's normal charged and plunging attack damage will be considered elemental burst damage. Okay. Sounds fine and dandy. Now if we take a look at Xingqiu, his elemental burst ability, your active character's normal attacks will trigger consecutive sword rain attacks dealing hydro damage. Now you'll notice it says normal attacks. So while you're in burst mode for the Raiden Shogun, it will still proc this ability, which is great, right? But if we take a look at Beto, for example, look at her elemental burst. When normal and charged attacks hit, they create lightning discharge that can jump between opponents, dealing electro damage. When normal and charged attacks. However, the Raiden Shogun's elemental burst duration will not proc this ability. So, which is it? Is it a normal attack, or is it elemental burst attack? It's considered elemental burst damage, but you're still, as far as I'm concerned, you're still performing normal attacks. You're spamming left click and it's doing the normal attack as far as I'm concerned. So this should work. I've also heard reports from other players that the Skyward Spine polearm, the 5-star polearm of the Skyward set, also has a passive ability that procs on normal attacks. That also does not work. So yeah, definitely a bit of a problem there. But that is definitely something that needs to be reworked, and miHoYo needs to decide exactly what type of damage and what type of attacks is the Raiden Shogun performing while using her burst. Other than that, let's quick take a look at how I have built my Raiden Shogun here, and then we'll get into a damage showcase of a few bosses here, because one of the things that is also a big controversy of the Raiden Shogun is that I personally think that she was overhyped, and a lot of people feel like she just doesn't put out the damage that they expected her to. I think it's just because that she's an Electro Archon. A lot of people expected her to just, I guess, blow Eula, for example, out of the water in terms of just overall maximum DPS capacity, being able to do 6 million, 7 million plus snapshot crits and all this jazz. But yeah, if I don't know if you've seen the graphics circulating the web, but according to statistics, the 2-day banner revenue for miHoYo, the Raiden Shogun pulled a absolutely mind-blowing $9.4 million. The absolute highest 2-day of all time, beating that of second place as Klee for 8.6 million. Venti Rerun was 8.4 million. Xiao was 4.9 million. Yoimiya bringing up the rear end here at only 2 million. So the most recent banner only pulling in 2 million for miHoYo. So definitely a lot of hype. That 9.4 million, almost a million more than second place. And so that right there tells me that the Raiden Shogun was definitely hyped up. Everybody was excited to pull her. And then when they took a look at her DPS and her abilities and just what the kind of numbers that she was putting out, a lot of people felt short-handed. But personally, if you ask me, I really don't think that anybody was short-handed at all. I think she performs very well. Her damage output is very good. We don't need any more broken units like Ganyu, for example, who just absolutely tip the scales of what's considered normal DPS. Eula's also another very high DPS output character, so is Hu Tao. And if we just keep expecting miHoYo to keep releasing characters that are just stronger than the latest release and stronger than any unit that has been released before, we're going to end up with nothing but power creeped units. Every single unit that's been released in the game is eventually going to be completely and utterly useless, because every unit that comes out is going to be better than before, and you're just going to be forced into, you're eventually going to be forced into spending, because free-to-play players won't be able to keep up, because old units aren't going to be able to perform, new units are going to be super overpowered. It is not a good way to go. So I personally believe that the Raiden Shogun does perform very well, and we'll be doing a little boss showcase after the I take a look at take you through how I built the Raiden Shogun. Words are hard sometimes. All right. So as you can see here, attack 3K, crit rate 67%, crit damage percent 112, and running 240% energy recharge. So I've got the Engulfing Lightning, level 90, just refinement rank 1. I'm definitely not made of money. Artifacts. I've got the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate set. 2-piece set gives the energy recharge plus 20%. 4-piece set increases elemental burst damage by 25% of energy recharge. A maximum of 75% bonus damage can be obtained in this way. So let's take a look at the artifacts here. I've got the Flower here with crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and flat defense. The Flower, attack percent, defense percent, crit rate, and crit damage. The Sands, I'm currently running an attack Sands. I do have a elemental recharge Sands. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. But we got the HP percent, energy recharge, crit rate, and flat defense. And then I do have the energy recharge Sands. I just pulled this today. I will be giving this a try to see which one is better, whether the energy recharge is going to be performing better than the attack, or if the attack Sands is going to be performing better. But we've got the HP percent on the energy recharge Sands, the attack percent, pretty high roll there, pretty decent. Flat HP, which I definitely would have liked to have crit damage for that roll, but beggars can't be choosers. The artifact game is rough out there. And then we've got the crit rate percentage there as well. Jumping into the Goblet, I'm running an attack Goblet. Electro Goblet actually performs worse than the attack Goblet because you get the diminishing returns, because Raiden Shogun gets plenty of passive electro damage from her talents. So running the attack Goblet, energy recharge, flat attack, flat HP, and crit damage. Definitely not the best rolls here. That flat attack is kind of a killer. It's a pretty low roll on the crit damage. Definitely looking at getting this replaced at some point. Up next, we've got the Helm. I've got the crit rate Helm here, going with attack percent, 8 flat HP, energy recharge, and crit damage roll. Up next, 0 constellations, as previously stated, not made of money. Up next, we've got talents. Right now, I've got her at 688. So, let's get right into the boss fights.
Illusion shattered.
Solidify.
Shudder. Now you shall perish. Crush! Vengeance will be mine! There is no escape! Wind strike! Delves into destiny! Inazuma shines eternal! Incinerate! Illusion!
As one with wind and cloud.
Torn to oblivion!